Today I have the keys to the 2021 Audi SQ7. Huge shout out to Audi Greenville for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely check out their website. This model here is finished off in Daytona Gray Pearl and it has an MSRP just under $92,000. Let's go ahead and jump into today's review by starting up underneath the hood, where you'll find the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine. This is paired to the 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission. It pumps out 500 horsepower, around 5,500 RPM, and 558 pound-feet of torque as low as 3,000 RPM. It features the Quattro all-wheel drive system, weighs in around 5,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds up to its top speed of 155 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 22.5 gallons, you'll expect to see around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 117.9 inches. Its overall length is 199.6. It has a width of 77.6 and a height of 68.5 inches. With all those specs out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the exterior walk around on the SQ7. I'm going to start up front here with the hexagonal style grille. It has a really nice design to it, plenty of cutouts to provide maximum cooling, and it has gloss black around the surround just to give it a really cool look. We have the chrome Audi badge right in the center, along with a forward-facing camera. There's also parking sensors, and then this also has the HD Matrix LED headlights. They have a really nice design to them. You can see the DRLs are currently on right now, and I love how it has a split design to it with all of the multiple LEDs that you see. Gives it a really cool look from the front. You'll also notice there's air inlets on both sides, along with more parking sensors. There's gloss black on the lower section of the bumper, and then very nice lines come down the hood. So this has a really nice presence to it from the front, along with a sensor on both sides of the grille as part of the adaptive cruise and all of that technology. But now let's go ahead and work our way to the side profile. This has a set of 21-inch wheels with a two-tone design. Very nice color against this Daytona gray. We have the gloss black side mirrors that feature the integrated turn signal as well. And then up top, this has a full panoramic sunroof. You'll see there's more gloss black around the windows. It's down on the lower section of the door with Quattro on the back section there. And then there are very clean lines that run down the side profile. You'll see an aggressive one though that goes from the headlight all the way to the taillights, and then down below on the side skirts, some great contoured lines just to tie in nicely with all of the curves. And then finishing up in the rear, you'll see this has a body colored spoiler with the integrated third brake light. We have LED taillights with the nice ambient lighting in them. This has a backup camera with parking sensors. Down in the lower diffuser, you'll see it's finished off in gloss black. This has a towing capacity up to 7,700 pounds. And then on both sides, you'll see the quad exit dual exhaust. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the interior on the SQ7. Before I forget, however, there are cameras also on the side mirrors. That's a part of the 3D camera system. I'll show that here later in this video. But with the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket, I'm just going to grab the door handle and it will unlock, leading us to the very beautiful door panel. You'll see Alcantara and carbon fiber, really nice color on the armrest here. We have the brushed aluminum release handle, along with lock and unlock and the memory seating adjustments. You'll see the power liftgate release along with some storage space and one of 19 speakers in the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Now as we move to the interior, you'll see the S badge down on the door sill, and now looking at the rotor gray leather seats. They have a beautiful design to them. You can see another S badge with the diamond stitching. These are heated and ventilated, have very nice bolstering support to them, and then you have all the controls for them down on the side. Moving on to the steering wheel now, you'll see it's completely covered in solid and perforated leather. Has some more gray stitching running along the inside just to give it a really nice look. And there's also brushed aluminum on the lower section. On the right side, you'll see voice command and Bluetooth, along with being able to adjust the volume and change stations. This is a customizable button, so you can configure that to what you use the most, which is really nice and helpful to have on the steering wheel. This also has the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters finished off in black. And then on the left side, all of these will control the gauge cluster. So right now you are looking at the 12.3-inch virtual cockpit. If I click on view, you will see the tach on the left side, the miles per hour on the right side. And if I click on that again, it'll bring up the tach and your miles per hour right in the center. And then if I use these arrows, we can scroll through a lot of information and you'll see that appear on the left side. So right now you can look at your consumption. We have the short and long-term memory, along with the energy consumption and your driver assistance. And then we can scroll over and look at the music, your phone, and the navigation when that is on and running. If I click on view, then it brings it to full screen and you can go through all of that information again right in the center. So it's very helpful, and I love how large this screen is. On the left side is the engine temperature. Your fuel gauge is on the right side. And then making our way to the left side of the steering wheel, there's a little bit of storage space down below if you want to place any items there. You'll see some more carbon fiber, your headlight controls, piano black and solid leather will cover the entire dash here. And then right in the center, we have the top screen here, which is 10.3 inches. And there's a lot of information that you can go through. Currently, it's on the navigation right now. If I click on the home button on the left side, that brings you to a lot more information, like your radio and media. You can go into vehicle and configure your drive select, so the different driving modes, all-road, comfort, auto, dynamic. There's also an off-road setting too, which will raise the vehicle to give you extra ground clearance. You have your lighting and visibility, your AC. You can scroll over and look at your favorites. And then on the left side, you have your audio and music, along with your phone, and then we can bring up the navigation again. You'll also notice there's a gloss black trim piece surrounding that. It goes all the way to the passenger side just to tie it in nicely. And then looking at the screen below that, you do have a button that you can turn the upper screen off and then just tap on it to bring it back up. You have some garage door buttons along with the engine start stop feature and a downhill assist control. And the lower screen is also mainly for your climate controls. So just by turning them on, you can see all of your functions for the dual zone for up front, along with the heated seat controls. On the left side, you do have shortcuts to your drive select, so you can quickly get into the different modes if you'd like to. You can also get a shortcut to your parking sensor. So just by using that, this will utilize all of the cameras around this vehicle and give you that top-down view. We are looking at the forward-facing camera right now, and you can expand this dial down below to look at plenty more angles. You have the top-down view and a couple different rear view camera angles, along with where the front tires are, the rear tires are, and then just by clicking on 3D, that will give us that excellent graphic. You can even see the DRLs are currently on and they show on the picture. That is some great attention to detail. It will show you everything around and you have clear visibility around the entire vehicle. And then over on the far right, we have the power and volume for the radio. You'll notice there are two cup holders along with a little bit of storage. You could place the key. There is a 12 volt. And then moving on to the shifter, it has perforated leather on the top. We can go ahead and put it all the way into reverse and you will see that backup camera up here. You can go all the way down into drive, pop it over into the sport mode. That allows you to use these paddle shifters. And then just by pushing the P on the back, we'll place the vehicle into park. There's also the electronic parking brake. You'll see more carbon fiber surrounding all of this and brushed aluminum just to tie it in nicely. There is more rotor gray on the center armrest, and if we open this up, you'll see a wireless charging port along with a little bit of storage space on one side. And then you can also slide this forwards and backwards just for some extra comfort. And then making our way to the glove box, you'll see there's plenty of room for all of that information, along with more carbon fiber. We'll take one last look at these seats. And then as I mentioned earlier, this does have a full panoramic sunroof, so we can go ahead and open up that sunshade and it goes all the way to the back seat passengers. You have all those controls up in the center along with the touch sensitive dome lights. Now in the second row of the SQ8, there's a lot of space and a lot of maneuverability for this second row. I'm going to start off with the amount of room that I have. At 5'10", I have plenty of room for my feet and knees and a few inches above my head. These seats also move forwards and backwards, so if you need a little bit more or a little bit less legroom for your third seat passengers, you can do that. And these seats recline too. I am fully reclined right now, and it gives you a very comfortable position. You'll also notice the attention to detail on these door panels is just like up front. With the suede and the carbon fiber, you have some nets behind both front seats, and then right in the center is how you adjust the climate controls for the second row passengers. You have your temperature, where you like the air to go, 2 air vents. There's also a 12 volt and 2 USBs down below. And then right in the middle, if you don't have a passenger right here, you have an armrest. You can also open this up for 2 cup holders, and you can fold this seat down. So just by pulling on this tab, these back seats have a 40-20-40 split, so you can lock this flat down just to give you a little bit more versatility in putting any larger items. You can also fold the outer seats down just by grabbing on that recline handle, and they will fold flat too. You can also then push on this button here and pull this up, and the entire seat will raise up, giving you plenty of access into the third row. And then working our way to the third row, you can also fold them up and down using these buttons on both sides. So there's one over on the passenger side. So if you need a quick way to do that, you can do that from here, which is really nice to see. But now making my way to the back seats at 5'10", my head is just up against the headliner here. You do have a cup holder on both sides and a good amount of space. So if you're a little bit smaller than me, you could be back here. I could be comfortably in the back here for a little bit, so it's nice that they have the optional seats for this. And now finishing up in the rear, we'll go ahead and take a look at the trunk storage space. I'm just going to use the button up underneath the Audi logo, push on that, and we have the power lift gate, so we'll automatically open up. you can see there's a good amount of space behind the third row with those seats up, and you have a little bit of storage space up underneath the floor too. On the left side, there is a net there, and then you also have the option to fold both of these seats down. Just by pushing on these buttons, you can automatically do that, and you can see just how much more space you have with them folded down. And then with everything folded down, you have plenty of room for anything that you'd like to place in here. You can also raise those seats back up, and you can raise and lower the lift height for the rear. So if you need it a little bit lower, you can do that. And then being the power lift gate, we can either close and lock the vehicle or just close it. All right, so getting the 2021 Audi SQ7 out on the road now. I have reviewed this vehicle before, but it's nice to be in it again. I love this 3-row vehicle. It provides you with a lot of storage space and a lot of versatility for anything you need to place behind the front row. So you can have people back there, you can fold everything down and put in any items that you'd like to, and you have a pretty healthy towing capacity with this vehicle too. So it is a great daily driver, very versatile if you're doing those kinds of things, hauling a lot of kids, or you have some things that you need to haul behind the vehicle. But right off the bat, the interior is very, very nice. I love the perforated leather on your grab handles here. It just gives you a really good grip on both sides. Then we have solid leather, we have piano black and carbon fiber in an SUV. That is pretty cool to see. And then we have these gray seats, the rotor gray seats that are incredibly comfortable. I love how this vehicle is driving so far. We can go into vehicle and see that we are currently in auto right now. Let's go ahead and put it into dynamic, and you can feel it get a little bit stiffer. I just got finished reviewing an S8, and the suspension settings in most of the Audis are very similar with how they perform as far as going from dynamic to comfort. And this is an SUV that you could get out on some back roads like I currently am right now and have a little bit of spirited driving with it. I love how Audi puts a lot of their S-Line performance into their SUVs and even their sedans, from their sports cars, of course, because it just gives you that much more versatility, and just being able to drive a heavy SUV like this and take it around some of these turns at normal speed, and then you have more than enough power to get out of the turns. It's crazy to talk about that in an SUV. That is what you would do in sports cars and even some sedans. So let's go ahead and put it into first gear. Wow. I mean, that's crazy to see in an SUV. And that exhaust note, we are in dynamic, so it gets a little bit louder, but I mean, that's crazy. From an Audi, you're getting that from an Audi SUV. Like I said, they bring all of that performance to their SUVs, so you can have the best of both worlds and have a fun and exciting daily driver. That is really cool. Let's talk about visibility now. It's a little bit longer with the third row, but it's easy to see all around, and the fact that you have this extra glass in front of the side mirrors just provides you with a little bit more forward-facing visibility. But the pillars in the back, they're not all that bulky. You can see over both shoulders, and you have that camera system to really help you out in parking lot situations. And then talking about the materials, I already mentioned most of them, but I love how premium feeling this interior is, and I love these 3 separate screens. If you're a normal viewer to our channel, this will be redundant, but I talk about it a lot because I love the fact that you have these 3 screens with all this information, and it's easy to use. You can hop in here within 5-10 minutes, know exactly where pretty much everything is. So it's user-friendly, but it provides you with a ton of technology, which I absolutely love. And even just getting on it a little bit there, we're back up to the speed limit. Oh, it's just a really cool SUV to check out. We'll go ahead and give it one last acceleration for today. Wow. You can get some drama to this. Oh, it's super fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed getting to check out the 2021 Audi SQ7. Definitely a very, very fun 3-row vehicle. Huge shout out again to Audi Greenville for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely check out their website. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I will see you guys in the next video.